Hey, how's it going? Daniel Tan with Keller Williams Realty Elite coming to you from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. I'm going to run a class real quick today, show you how to set up Google Calendar to behave like Calendly features, allows you to get this out to your clients and have them book time with you. So, got good stuff coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. Hey guys, Daniel Tan here. Welcome to Good Coaching. We are just going to talk really easy about Google appointment slots. I think Google has called this a couple of different things over time, but I think their present iteration they call it appointment slots. The feature is similar, and if you are familiar with how Calendly provides their calendar booking features, Google actually has these features baked into their application suite as well. So this session is really to share with you how to make this work in Google. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you have got a kw.com domain, you already have this feature. It's part of your fees to the your market center. So why not use it? So broadly speaking, the why question is this: based on my own personal time commitments and other obligations, this feature works real well for me. For me, it works well because it allows me to, connect with someone, communicate with them why I bring value to their objectives. And then I leave them with this link, and it allows them to receive my message, think about it, and at whatever point they are feeling comfortable or convenient, then they get to my calendar and book time with me. It takes a little bit of pressure off me. It takes pressure off them as well. So I didn't want to read this slide to you. I mean, that's generally why I do this. So this is the what page, the required and optional. Most of us have a kw.com email address already, so that's assumed. And then you just need to get to the URL that says calendar.google.com with your kw.com email and login. An optional piece I do like is bit.ly or a whole bunch of other URL shortening services out there. It just basically takes a very long, cumbersome Google address and shortens it up into something that you can remember, stick it on your business card, throw it in a QR code or otherwise. Broadly, this is what I use. So you've got your clients in the top left corner there. I just point them to my bit.ly link, as you see here, bit.ly, betterway_coffee with Dan. And what that does is basically takes your URL and repoints it to calendar.app.google. You see that long, string down there that I will never remember. So that's broadly how it all works. I will walk you through all these components as we go through the session today. So this is the how. Again, your kw.com email address, calendar.google.com. And if you want a shortening service, I will be touching on that as well. This is what it looks like broadly. When you land on my webpage, you're going to see your name, in this case, Daniel Tan, up in the top left corner. And it gives you the opportunity to define your appointment slots, how long you want your appointments to be, and a few other things. And then down in the middle of the screen is basically the your availability to your potential customer. So when they come see your page, this is what they get, and I'll walk you through a live version of this as well, so you broadly understand and you get how it works. Okay, now it's Q&A. We are going to drop out of this slide deck, and I'll show you the live version of all these pieces working together. Up here, this is the live version of the page when you land here. For example, if I'm coming at this as a client and I'm saying I would love to get an appointment with Dan for 11:30 on Saturday the 29th, I would come here, click on the 11:30 a.m. slot, punch in my name, John Doe, and abc@gmail.com. Phone number 2994246 That's just my personal number. And I click book. It's going to send me a verification. Okay, you probably want a valid email address there because it does require a verification code, just to make sure that you are not a bot out there in the internet, trying to spam this website. I'll show you what the email looks like when you receive one of these emails. And all it does is it basically books the appointment all the way through into your own Google Calendar, and then you've got it right there. As for the moving pieces, this is probably the meat of this particular call. This is my kw.com calendar. And as you see here, This is my availability slot for coffee with Dan. I'm going to set up a new one today for the sake of this exercise and show you what it looks like. So I'm going to click, say 1 p.m., 1:15 to 2 p.m. No, I don't like that. I'm going to click 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. there. Once this comes up, you are going to see add a title. So I'm just going to call this coffee with Dan part 2. And down in this second field here, you are going to click appointment schedule. So maybe that's where I'm mistaken. It used to be called appointment slots. It's presently called appointment schedule. So click there and it's going to ask you, do you want to create a new appointment schedule or add availability to an existing? In this case, we're going to create a new and click continue. You're going to get this come up, this whole thing come up on the right panel here. First thing you do, you kind of pick what you want and how long you want the duration of each appointment you take. So in this case, I'm going to say 30 minutes. And because I've only picked Thursday 1 to 2 p.m., you are going to see Thursday 1 to 2 p.m. here. But if this is an appointment availability that you want to maintain for the whole week, you can click this plus button here to add more options. Alternatively, you could come in here and say, click in here and say copy time to all. I think that should work. Let me get rid of that. Copy time to all. There's a little goofiness going on here, but basically what you're going to do is, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And that copy feature is kind of behaving funny. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm just going to put this in for, 3 days of the week, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday for sake of conversation. So if you look on your calendar on your right panel, you will see these 3 slots are booked. Your time zone is Central Time, Chicago. Scheduling window is, you can mark this as available now, or you can have particular start and end dates when this availability is going to be available to your customers. And so there. Okay, so where are we? So this next field here is maximum time in advance that an appointment can be booked. So basically it means how far in advance potentially your customer can get time on your calendar. 60 days is pretty far out. I usually turn this down to 30. If that doesn't work for you, you can turn that down to 10 or even 5. I mean, that's really up to your personal preference. I believe I run mine at 30 days. And down here, minimum time before appointments start. So it basically gives you that buffer of time so that someone booking your time can come in and say, um, you know, I need at least an hour before I can take my next appointment. For me, I've turned this down to 1 hour, so I can turn my. This really depends on your personal availability. If you can take an appointment within an hour of booking, that's what you do. Hey, Akil, welcome. And this button here basically says change the date availability. I haven't played with this field too much, but it basically allows you to add a few more dates where you have similar slots. Now, this field down here, booked appointment settings, expands. This is buffer time. So for me, I do maximum bookings of 3 appointments a day with a buffer time of 30 maybe. I think I do 15 minutes between appointments. My time slots are about 90 minutes long. So this basically gives me, I think my booking slots are 3 hours long. So this gives me the ability to take an appointment, have a 15-minute break before I take the next appointment. So it basically gives you that flexibility to tweak based on how you want to run your appointments. And obviously this last button is just your color label. What color do you want this to show up on your calendar as? And that's pretty much it. I like it because it's very straightforward. It gets to the point. I personally found that Calendly was just a lot. It was very feature rich, but also, probably more feature rich than I needed it to be, and to a point that it was, getting a little confusing to use. All that in place, I click the next button. Down here, you can, you know, change your profile photo, uh, and if you don't, it's basically inherited from your broad uh, Google profile. Down here, you can define whether you want to meet in person, do a Google Meet, phone call, or otherwise. I usually just pick Google Meet. But then in the description, I just put in Google Meet or like a Caribou Coffee location if you are in the Midwest region, and then I just put in whatever address of Caribou that I prefer. Now coming down here, the booking form, as you saw on the other page, basically asks you to capture a first name, last name, and email address. I like to add this one item here, which is just phone number. I click required and I click add item. So I capture 4 fields: first name, last name, email, and phone number, so that I have the person's information. So you could look at this really in some manner as a method of lead generation and data capture for potential clients as well. Then you've got stuff to reach them by. Yeah, so this checkbox here is what you saw earlier. It requires email verification so that you're not getting potentially your webpage spammed or botted by bots out there. So basically, when they plug in a valid email address, they'll get a verification in their inbox to confirm that appointment with you. Finally, you can just specify how you would like to receive, whether you would like to receive whether you would like to receive a reminder for your appointment. Email reminder you can do anywhere from 5 minutes to 1 day before, or something custom that works for you. And then you can add multiple reminders as well as you desire. But at this time, it does appear that it is strictly an email reminder. And I'm going to click save here. And that's it. You see down here, I've got this availability on my calendar. And if you wish to edit it, you just click on that little green icon there and click edit, and you get this come up, and you can walk through all of that again and modify any parameters that you need. And if you want to see what it looks like to your audience, then you would click here, click share, and click all appointment schedules, and click preview. And what you get is this. And if you, in the upper left hand corner, click what others see, and you get this view. And then if you click on this square box, you get that view, which is kind of where we started. Uh, 1 p.m. on Thursday, 1 p.m. on Sunday, and so forth. So that's how that piece works. Finally, I wanted to touch real quick on the, give me a second, I'm trying to get rid of this floating panel here. Okay, last piece is Bitly. So Bitly works like this. So if you go to Bitly, bit.ly, I'll go to Bitly on my normal Google profile because that's how I log in, bit.ly, and I click login. In this case, I do log in with my Google profile. Now, Bitly is also a free service. Obviously, they have different tiers of premium options as well, that gives you more analytics and other tools if you want to dig into how much traffic your links are getting. At this present time, I'm using Bitly as in this free model. Top left corner, click create now, click link, and down here in the right column, you would enter the long URL. In this case, your long URL would be this. Where did that go? This URL over here. If you click share and copy link here, you come back over to Bitly, you would paste your long Google Calendar URL in there. And then if you come down to create, that will take care of that. It will create a new Bitly link, and down here, you could modify that to pretty much whatever you want. So in this case, I will just do coffee with Dan part two, part, part two. Now that doesn't obviously take spaces in there, so underscores are preferred. And then you click save. And with that, if you copy this shortened URL, just copy that, come up to a new tab and drop that in there. It points you to your Google Calendar URL, and that's what you got. So that's what I have for you guys today. Pretty quick video. I wanted to give you guys back some time as well. This will be posted to my YouTube channel as well for broader consumption, and hope you guys got value from that. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Take care. Hey, hope that was useful. It was fun running this class for you guys today as well. If you want to reach me, my link is in the information below. Like, subscribe, click that notification bell. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.